It's our very favorite show. It's the Mailbag Show. I'm Matt Robison, along with my Blue Amp channel on YouTube, partner, co-host, conspirator, co-conspirator. We're going to get to that in a second.
I'm not the
Cliff
only conspirator.
Schecter.
We conspire together.
Cliff, you are. Oh, and this is also on Beyond Politics, was available wherever you get your podcast, and of course on the Blue Amp channel on YouTube. Cliff, you are like tearing it up on the media channels, my friend. You're just on Stephanie Miller. You're just on Jesse Dollemore. I think you're on Meet the Press this weekend. One of those kids is not like the other.
Yeah, a lot of good stuff came up. Those are all great shows. Also, Ring of Fire. Kind folks over there had me on, and those are all great shows. People should check them all out, and I really enjoy doing them.
By the way, if people are interested in some of those media appearances, all of the links are going to be posted on the community tab, Blue Amp channel. And also we may sneak some of that stuff onto our Patreon page. We're looking for more supporters. We just launched this. We're really excited about it. We'll put the link up in the show notes. So check out. And if you feel like supporting us on Patreon so that we can do more of this stuff, we really would appreciate it. So I think what we're going to do here is another mailbag show. I think what we're going to do is I'll read off the question. I'll give a little background, and then Cliff, you just fire away. All right, here we go. At Samurai Kitten writes, I'd like to know more about DeSantis and Guantanamo Bay. Why don't more people know how he enjoyed torturing the prisoners? So thank you for the question and comment, Samurai Kitten. The situation that we're referring to here is there are two that have come up. One is that Ron DeSantis, as a junior officer in 2006, yes, he was a lawyer at Guantanamo Bay, and he was asked to lead an investigation into 3 deaths that occurred under very suspicious circumstances, where the official line was, these men committed suicide, and it is very questionable, and a lot hinges on what he found, and he's been very mum about it. The other situation that's come up and that elicited what's the adjective I'm looking for? A fiery response from Ron DeSantis, who is not used to such things because usually he runs on motor oil.
He's also used to really just screaming at kids wearing masks or other sorts of folks who can't speak back to him.
Yeah. Yes, that's usually where he reserves or yell. Usually his media members, because that's how Republicans like to muscle up and look tough.
Also, what he'll do is he'll stand behind Casey DeSantis and pop his head out and yell something at somebody and then go back into hiding. So he does a little bit of that too.
Yes, profiles encourage.
He only does that when his white booties are available, so he feels really comfortable and confident in himself.
Yeah, it's like that clip of him going to the Red Arrow Diner in New Hampshire. It's, hey, hello, human people. Where do I go?
Hi.
Over here? Hello, I am now going to talk to you, human person. This is a human-like handshake. In all seriousness, not to give
makes
people...
John Kerry and Mitt Romney look like the 2 most charismatic presidential candidates of all time.
Yes, he's a specimen.
He makes Dukakis look good in the tank.
Not to give people tonal whiplash here, but Mansour Adaifi, Guantanamo detainee, alleged in an op-ed in Al Jazeera recently that Ron DeSantis was present when he was force-fed during an effort to break a hunger strike. And of course, many international groups have said that this amounts to torture. There are media reports on this, but the question here was, why don't more people know about this? Do you think this is coming up in the course of this campaign?
Are you trying to get me to go on another anti-media rant? Is that what you're searching for here, Matt?
I wouldn't be opposed to it.
Look, why didn't more people not know about it? I just had this conversation again on Stephanie Miller's show where we were talking about some of the things they won't cover, even the Chinese spy story that I alluded to with their whistleblower falling apart, how they'll cover it quickly and move on to the next thing. Our political media is just absolutely fundamentally broken. A clip came up, and we may be doing a video on this, that Michael Beschloss shared about 90 years ago, where the cover, I think, of the New York Times said that the Allies weren't really worried about Hitler. They feared he was just talking. It seems our media can stay as stupid and corrupt. And I'm sorry, yes, among mainstream media, I can name dozens of terrific reporters. So this is not to say every single one, but a lot of the decision makers at the big outlets and a lot of individual little careerists with their sitting there with a little pencil behind their ear, they're all psyched to move up the food chain. They couldn't care less. And the false balance. Our friend wrote a thread recently, and he was reminding people that he was taking credit and blaming himself, taking accountability, I should say.
Yeah.
He edited the front page of the Chicago Tribune that he believed, and this is 15 years ago, I think, or more, that the fair thing was to give an equal number of quotes to Democrats and Republicans and all that kind of stuff. And he said he's realized since it was lazy reporting, it was misinforming the public, because to pretend that both sides are equal is not true. They never are. There's always somebody doing more, but it's even that much more egregious over the last 10, 15 years as the Republican Party has become very much an anti-democratic force, has become much more corrupt. They spend so much time covering stupid stories and trying to both sides everything.
I think that last piece is really what it is. It's true. There's probably part of the dynamic is they consider Ron DeSantis the other white meat, and so they want to keep him alive because they love a good horse race story. But the other side of the coin, this is why it's so laughable. It's so laughable, the gaslighting that's involved when Republicans and right-wingers cry about, oh, there's a media bias. Shut up. It's so palpably untrue because what you've got is a right-wing media ecosystem that is on full propaganda blast 100% of the time. And then you've got a mainstream media ecosystem that reflexively, deep in their DNA, and this is what Mark Jacob is talking about, feels like they need to give equal coverage. They need to balance. This idea that there is a liberal media bias that's trying to support Joe Biden and the Democrats is so laughable. Mark Jacob, our friend, recent guest on the show, pointed out in another Twitter thread, here's a headline from the New York Times: despite successes at NATO summit, divisions remain. And here's what he writes. He says, there's a reflexive negativity in the New York Times coverage, as if the journalists think that skepticism makes them look smart. The headline reads, despite successes at NATO summit, divisions remain. What if it said, despite divisions, NATO summit achieves successes, which is what actually happened, because they feel like they have to inject tension, but all negativity. Otherwise, they're going to look like they're in the tank. And there is no such instinct. There's no such restraint at Fox News or any of the other right-wing blowhard propaganda outlets